Hey guys, Basil here at BTech. So finally got that working. So sorry about the delay for everyone who's been waiting patiently for our Xperia XZ unboxing video. So what we've got here is the brand new flagship from Sony with its 5.2-inch display. It's Snapdragon under the hood. It's also loaded up with optical image stabilization inside that camera, front and rear camera. Super excited about it. Right, now I've got the comment section in front of me. We have had an old stream that was filled with comments from you guys. Sorry, I'm going to have to run through those super quickly for anyone new who's joining. Is this final software? Yes, this is a final software unit. We're really happy to say that we're the first publication in the UK to get the final retail software. Okay, what else do you guys want to know? Is it a compact or a normal? It is an XZ, not a compact. Scroll down. Oh, guys, there's a lot of iPhone hate here. This is so much better than the iPhone because it has a headphone jack. Yep, Sony is awesome. Take your time. I'm sitting on the toilet watching this. Thanks for that, Ganja boy, Bobby, even. Yeah, so that is the old set of questions. Now I'm going to thumb through the new set of questions. If there's anything, I am staying on top of this, so apologies for the downtime, and I will get to unboxing the video. This is our first live unboxing video as well, so as a result, the quality of the audio is going to suffer a little bit, as is the quality of the video, but this literally just came in. It's 8:30 p.m. UK time. So we have literally grabbed it, run back to the office, and we're unboxing it for you. So no real questions from anyone, just loads of people telling me to open the freaking box. So I am going to go ahead and do that. But I have got your comments open in the windows so I can see them. Hey, Shamoy, waving. Right, so the Xperia XZ is the new flagship, like I said. It packs a new design. It also packs cutting-edge specs inside, especially inside the camera. What's cool about the camera is it also supports manual controls as well, so that's another first from Sony. So taking a look around the back of the box, and you can see some key elements. Sorry guys, the autofocus keeps flipping out. We couldn't hook up our DSLR for this, but you've got 23 megapixel rear camera, a 13 megapixel selfie camera, the 5.2-inch full HD display. So the display is a point of contention. 5.2 inches full HD, same as the Huawei P9, same as almost every other Xperia series before it, full HD. So you're not getting a resolution bump, but how much do you guys care? Do you want Quad HD? I personally don't see many pixels in Full HD, and from what I remember from the hands-on, the screen of this thing looked glorious, so I'm not too fussed, but I'd be interested to see if you are. You've also got a USB Type-C on here, as well as a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 under the hood and a 2900 milliamp battery. 32 gigabytes of onboard storage paired with Wi-Fi, NFC, etc., micro SD card, and that is the box. Now, I've been seeing this peek through. Nice colouring. You can see there's a big contrast, maybe alluding to the Alkaleido metal under the hood. Oh gosh, this thing's taking its sweet time to fall out. Should I help it? No. It's building suspense, right? And bam. We have the Xperia XZ in all its glory. That actually looks super sweet against the colours. Basically, because for anyone who doesn't know, the Alkaleido metal treatment, well, for anyone who doesn't know, you should be watching our video on it. We did a whole video on the Alkaleido metal. The finish of it is really beautiful. Got an Honor 8 here, and you can see side by side the Xperia XZ. I know I haven't taken the plastic off, but has a similar kind of blue, but from every kind of angle it looks very different. Alright, before I jump into talking about the design too much, let's take a look around the phone. You have NFC contact point on the front this time, so it's like the Xperia X, it isn't around the back. You've also got rounded sides. It's a more curvaceous design language than that of the Xperia Zs before it. So yeah, looking good from the offset. Take off some of this plastic from the bottom, peel, and from the back, and that's what I mean. The Alkaleido looks different from every angle. It looks very sweet. What I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to set this thing to boot up. I haven't booted it, and I'm going to run through your comments while the boot screen goes for the first time. Right. scrolling way up. There are loads of you guys. That's awesome. Thanks for watching this. So you guys are rude as well. Screw iPhone, except you didn't say the word screw. Screw Samsung. Sony, huzzah. That's chamois. Dum 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 dum. How does this phone compare to older Sony phones? Well, it's the best. It's the newest. I hope it's the best. You've got fantastic internals in there, and I think what's held Sony phones back in the past has been the cameras, and batteries to a degree, but you've got a decent sized cell in here, and the cameras are optically image stabilized. Quality looks great. What else do you guys want to know? I think that's most of it. A lot of you guys are saying no exploding with Sony, haha. Test out the speakers, test out the camera, test out the X performance, blah blah blah, speaker test. Yeah, so that's pretty much that, and the phone has booted up, perfect timing. So what we can see is the screen, 5.2 inches, full HD resolution, 424 odd pixels per inch. It's an IPS display, capacitive panel, obviously. Full HD resolution is decent but not industry leading, but the screen itself, the actual quality, looks fundamentally better than any screen before it from Sony. That's on first impression. You can see on the right hand side you've got a fingerprint scanner, a volume rocker, as well as a camera button. Down at the base, it's the first Sony phone to sport a USB Type-C as well. You've got a metal plate down at the base. It's a brushed metal at the base. Left hand side you have a slot. That's where you'll find the SD card and SIM card slot. Up at the top it is a 3.5mm headphone jack. While flipping it around, and you can see you've got the three types of autofocus. It's got phase detection, it's got laser autofocus, and the other one, and the camera, 23 megapixel optically image stabilized. This is no skinny phone. It isn't like trying to be. What this is a bit of a camera powerhouse. You've got a cumulative 23 and 13, 36 megapixels on this thing, and 2 loads of image stabilization. I have to say, I'm really, do you know what? The screen actually really reminds me a little bit of the HTC 10 screen in terms of its coloration. It's kind of a little bit red off angle, but I might just be making that up. In terms of things that you want me to test out on it, I know a lot of you want to know the maximum shutter speed, so I will be testing that out. It goes super dim. That's really nice. So I'd imagine that's going to be perfect for any bedtime readers out there. Right, this is an unboxing video, so I've neglected the box. Let's take a closer look at everything else that's inside here. You can see you've got some literature. This is always the boring stuff. And startup guide. Let's take a look at that startup guide. Simple as, nothing too complicated. Put that down to the side. You have a European power connector, and you have a USB Type-C. USB Type-C right there. So that is done. The box is finished, kaput, capiche. One thing that you do get in the UK is you get some Sony headphones when you pick this up, a pair of Bluetooth Sony headphones, to take advantage of the fact that this does support Bluetooth headphones, even though it does, as many of you guys have been saying, have a headphone jack. They're a really sweet pair that set you back 150 odd pounds separately, so that's a great advantage if you pre-order an Xperia XZ before, I think it's October the 5th. So this thing isn't cheap, but it is in hand an expensive feeling phone. I love that Alkaline metal, and my first impressions are super positive. So first thing you guys want to know, camera. Fire up the camera and see manual controls, save location. Yeah, let's just save that location there. Sorry about all the reflection, guys. We literally did this in a crazy rush so that we could get it for you ASAP. Got it. Manual mode. Right, we're shooting full manual. We have buttons there. We have shutter speed, and shutter speed is maximum. Oh no, wait, what? Oh no! Oh, that upsets me. It's only a 1 second max shutter speed by the looks of things. Oh no. So yeah, that's kind of gutting. It's gutting mainly because things like the Huawei P9 can take up to a 20-second shutter speed if you have it in night mode, for example, and it's super smart with that. So it's good that there's manual on here, admittedly, but I couldn't see any raw shooting on here, and I can't see anything beyond a 1 second shutter speed. But still, you are going to get better images from this, I'm anticipating, than any other Sony phone before it. Now, I have kind of done a little bit of pre-planning with this to a degree, and I have some other Sony phones to bring into frame so that we can compare some sizes. Right. You guys can probably guess which Sony phone is which, but for starters, we have an Xperia Z5. This was the last flagship, absolute beauty. We have the green version. It's actually a pretty similar green to, or finish to this in terms of its matte, and they're both kind of nice matte devices. But the Xperia XZ feels a little bit thicker. It's also a little bit taller in spite of having the same screen size. Might not be the easiest for you to make out, but you should be able to see it is a little bit taller, and the width is about the same. It feels a little bit thicker as well. What is cool about the Xperia XZ, though, that the Xperia X doesn't do, is it's a freestanding Sony phone. So we haven't seen one of those before. So it reminds me a little bit of a Lumia, not as much as a compact though. How about the Xperia X? So this is a 5-incher versus a 5.5-incher. And you can see the difference is very evident in terms of it's both thicker, well, it feels maybe not thicker, but it's definitely wider and taller as well. Putting the Xperia X to one side, we have the beast. We have the premium, Z5 Premium. So this was a 4K screen phone, which just was bonkers because it has 800 pixels per inch. Did I love it? I love the battery life. I didn't really find much benefit to there being a 4K display. It's a much, much bigger phone as well. But with, I think it's around 34,000 milliamps under the hood. That's a very, very competent contender when it comes to the battery life stakes. And finally, the baby of the bunch, we haven't got a X compact in, but when we do, we will be comparing it in a big way to the Z5 compact. As you can see, Z5 compact with its 4.6-inch display is significantly shorter and smaller than the Xperia XZ. Right, now I'm going to be flying through your comments all over again to assess if there's anything that I missed. But you guys have been commenting away like crazy. Full HD screen, FTW. Yeah, okay, but why? So, okay, for the win in a good way, or FTW like, fuck the work, what are they doing? I like the Full HD screen. In my head, it's efficient use of pixels. I don't see pixels at that rate. Does it explode? No. Booted quickly? Yes, it did. How does it compare to the OnePlus 3? It's a much more expensive phone than the OnePlus 3. It's a much more premium offering. On the plus side, you're getting the image stabilization across the front and rear camera. You're also getting expandability, but it does have less internal memory. It does have way less RAM. I'm always curious about Sony because this is like a flagship. It's a super premium flagship, but they clearly don't rate RAM that much. But you've only got 3 gigabytes on here. Now, you've got more RAM in my Honor 8 that I'm also reviewing at the moment. That has 4 gig of RAM. And I will say, like in the past, where Sony's phones have really fallen down is the fact that after a few weeks of using them, the camera just takes a while to open. So while box fresh, I'll be able to take a picture, and such a beautiful experience. The box has appeared. It's tracking the same part of the Xperia Z5 compact. I can then open up that picture, allow, pinch in, got it, pinch in, and that's a beautiful picture. It doesn't look like there's that mottling close-up that there was on old Sony devices, so that's a promising start to everything. A lot of other sites have done more in-depth camera stuff than what I'm going to be able to do right now for you guys. But in the same breath, OnePlus 3 will likely, I reckon, have inferior optics. I prefer 5.2-inch screens to 5.5-inch screens. This also has front-firing stereo speakers as well. But in the same breath, and also I reckon this may well have a slightly better battery life, given the fact there's only 100 milliamps in it, and the screen of this is a fair bit smaller. Right. Headphones and cables. There weren't any headphones in the box, but like I said, if you do pick up the offer with pre-ordering this in the UK, you will pick up a set of free Bluetooth headphones, and they're really, really sweet. In fact, if you guys hang tight, I can actually find them. There they are. Right, so these are the specific headphones that you will be getting in the UK. The models are MDR-XB950BT, BT for Bluetooth. They're really, really like stylish in terms of the fact they're circular. They look quite like statement pieces around your ears. They're bold cans, and I really, really like them. I've just been listening to stuff on them, and you can see the shape of them is like well fitted to your ears. So if you are pre-ordering it, that's a super, super attractive perk right there. All right, eyeing through your comments. Pretty impressive. Speaker test, please. How does the front camera stack up? Okay, so we'll be doing more in-depth camera comparisons, but ultimately I think I pretty much answered the bulk of your questions around the Sony Xperia XZ. If there's anything that I've missed out, ping them in the comments section. We'll be making full videos about this phone. Obviously, it's an absolute beauty. The only thing that I haven't done really is run through the user interface, which I've done a shed load in my prior videos, but I might as well do that now for you. So you've got home screens, obviously. It's the same version of Android as the Xperia X, within reason. Now you've got a more Googleified version. So you've got Google Now to the left-hand side, which makes me really happy. Google Now is something that I use all the freaking time. Well, you can also do pull down from any home screen to access universal search, just like with Huawei Emotion UI. That's the one. Swift keys jumping in on there, suggesting Sony uses Swift key, which we already knew they did. You've also got universal search to the left of the applications tray. There are suggested apps too, search applications up at the top, and in the settings for the applications tray, you can see you can automatically do stuff like have app recommendations and add icons to your home screen every time you install an app. I love this UI. I really love this UI. It's kind of like all the things that Huawei is trying to do by making sure you have everything at your fingertips and on your home screen, but it's giving you the option to not have that as well. So very, very customizable. Pinch out, check out the home screen settings. You can change icon appearance, although there is only one option. Maybe there's more you can download. You can choose transition elements, app recommendations, switch Google Now on or off, double tap to sleep. Yeah, we're doing well. So I'm happy. Sony went through a few iterations of having exactly the same UI throughout, and now they clearly have been improving and streamlining the whole experiences. A lot of people are down on Sony phones. My main thing about the Sony phones that I didn't like was how after a couple of weeks of using them, the camera just took a little bit too long to fire up. Jumping into the settings so that you can see this is running Android 6, I do believe. Yeah, 6.0.1, so it hasn't got any Nougat love just yet. Can't wait to see how much that affects the user interface of the Xperia XZ. But the other thing that Android phones from Sony tend to have is a fair amount of control over the display. So jumping in, you can see X Reality for mobile is switched on. I will say switching that off helps when you're looking at camera samples because it removes some of that mottling. You've also got tap to wake, double tap to wake, which is sweet if you want to switch that on. I found that on Sony's that can be a little bit oversensitive, and it can therefore result in overheating the phone a little bit in my pocket. That was one of the big issues I had with the Z3 Plus, but we won't talk about that. You can also see sleep after 1 minute of inactivity, and there is a famous white balance control, so you can manually effectively whack a blue light filter on there. And that is the Xperia XZ UI. First impressions, the design is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be anything it isn't, which is a super skinny binny, but when you've got quite a lot of surface area to work with, there's a lot of bezel going up top and up down below the screen. The trick is to make it feel expensive and look expensive, and Sony has done just that. So yeah, that's my first ever live unboxing video. I really hope that you enjoy it. If you enjoyed it, even if you did, please click that thumbs up button, like this video, share it out, subscribe to the channel, because we want to be doing more live videos like this. We just feel they're more interactive and they get more of your questions answered. So yeah, comment if there's also anything else that you want us to do on this, live or indeed not live, and we will endeavour to do so. Thanks for watching BTech.